you're looking for the best, cheapest and quickest delivery Forza Horizon 4 pre-made modded accounts, personal account mods or credit packs that work on online in both PC and Xbox and also have a very unlikely chance of being banned, head over to MitchCactus.com guys, as we also additionally now provide ban warranty across all mod packages. What is going on guys, MitchCactus here, coming back with another Forza Horizon 4 video. Today's video will be going over 10 leaked cars that will be coming to Forza Horizon 4, either in the next series, aka Series 32, or potentially later down the line in the future. Now of course, most of these cars that I'll be talking about in this video are actually already in the game files and have been leaked and found in those files, and potentially will be released shortly, or maybe further down the line. And then a few of the cars are purely my speculation, based off of what cars have been added recently I think might be likely. Because in the grand scheme of things, a lot of the cars that we actually do see in these series are not actually in the game files. For example, the Corvette C8 was not in the game files until 1 to 2 days before the release, therefore there may be other additional cars that are not in the game files that we could potentially see. If you guys would like to stay up to date with any sort of updates regarding these cars or just other great Forza content, make sure you go ahead and subscribe and smash the like button while you're at it. It only takes around 5 seconds and helps out a ton, so make sure you guys go ahead and do that. And for more information about my website, MitchCactus.com, there'll be a link at the top of the description and in the pinned comment guys. So if you want to see more info about the modded accounts, it'll all be on site. But basically they work on both PC and Xbox and are safe to use online. Well, now that I've gotten all that out of the way, I will be getting started now with the first car. So the first car will be the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. Now this has been an extremely highly anticipated car that I've wanted personally to come into the game for a long time, and I know a lot of you guys have wanted it too. Now of course we did see the Lamborghini Huracan Performante, which could indicate that Forza are actually acquiring licensing to some of these cars, and the most recent Lamborghini Aventador model currently in the game would be the SVJ, which is, an SV, sorry, which is the 2016 model, and the actual Aventador is only 2012, so it's about time for a new updated model, considering the SVJ is almost a completely different car from the SV. It looks fairly different with a whole facelift and completely different performance statistics, so therefore it definitely warrant the ability for the SVJ to come into the game. However, at the same time, I feel like maybe they might delay it or not put it into Horizon 4 at all, because they could potentially use it as a cover car for a future Forza game, considering how aesthetically pleasing it is and how much of a highly noticeable or publicly recognized supercar it is. Now the second car I'll be talking about will be the 2012 Aston Martin Vantage, which has been found in the game files, and I'm not too keen for this car to come to the game as there's already a fair few Aston Martin cars and it's nothing really new, but it is a leaked car in the game that we could see in an upcoming series. Now we haven't seen any Aston Martin cars for a fair while, and there actually aren't that many in the game. The last one we saw, I believe, was an older Vantage, or maybe it was a Vanquish model, I'm not 100% certain, but there aren't too many Aston Martin cars in the game, so this would definitely spice it up a little bit, and I'm sure a few of us would be keen, not a whole lot of people, but definitely a niche community in the game would be keen to see a few more Aston Martin cars in the game, as like I've been saying, there aren't too many publicly circulating in terms of what you can actually acquire or get right now in the game. Coming up next will be the 2021 Bentley Bentayga. Now considering the new Bentley Bentayga is actually quite a facelift in relation to the last model, it's likely we could see it into the game, considering the most recent Bentley Bentayga model in the game is a 2016. Now on top of that, there's only around 4 to 5 Bentley cars in the game, if that, so seeing a new Bentley car would definitely spice it up a little bit. However, maybe we could even see another Bentley car like a Flying Spur or a Mulsanne, but that's something I'd save for another video and talk about specifically in the whole great scheme of things when it comes to luxury cars and their absence in Forza Horizon 4. Next up guys, we have the Porsche 911 Turbo S 2020 model. Now the Porsche 911 Turbo S is publicly seen as a supercar killer. It's a sports car with a 0 to 100 time of around 2.6 to 2.7 seconds and would pretty much smash any sort of supercar. It's almost like a McLaren 720S but significantly cheaper, and would be seen as a sleeper in comparison, as it looks nowhere near as menacing, but it still does look very cool and pleasing when it comes to a sports car type of persona or look. So I hope that comes in the game guys. I definitely think that would be pretty cool, maybe even a drag car, or simply just a nice car you could mod up and drive around a track. Next up, guys, will be a car that I've spoken about previously, and it's actually the Ferrari 488 Challenge car. So number 25 Ferrari 488 Challenge car. Would have seen before as a race car, and it's pretty much a tuned up 488 with a bunch of sick decals on it. Now, we've seen a bunch of cars like this in terms of the Mustang or the rally cars or even the drift cars, so it's no doubt that we could finally get to see some race cars, maybe a DLC theme series like a Series 32 where there's 3 to 4 new race type models, whether it's a 488 GTB or the 25 488 Challenge car, and maybe even other ones like the Mercedes AMG GT, the Bentley Continental race cars, and all of those type of models. Personally, I think this will be a pretty cool addition, and I hope they add it in the near future. Coming up next will be the Mustang Shelby GT500 2020 model. A lot of people have been wanting to see this car, it's very eager to see it, and I did talk about this in a previous video not too long ago, because some people were saying it was seen in AR12's video even though it's not in the game. But guys, this is actually not the GT500, it was an older model that is currently in Forza, so it was a bit of speculation there, a bit of anticipation and hope that it would be in the game, as a bunch of the fans, specifically the American Ford Mustang fans, would love to see this car in the game, and personally I would too. There's already quite a lot of Mustangs and Fords in the game, but there's no shortage, or does not mean that there should be less, as this is a new model, it's a new car, and a new overall look on the Mustang line of cars currently in the game. So hopefully we can see it in the coming future, possibly Series 31, although I feel like it could be a little bit later. It all depends on how quick Forza are able to attain licensing for it. Next up, guys, you have the Audi RS Q8. The Audi RS Q8 is a new car. We have not seen this type of car before in the Audi line. The RS Q8 is pretty much on the same chassis or build as the Lamborghini Urus. It's pretty much the exact same car as the Urus, simply with a different type of look and 50 less horsepower, but it's got the same engine with a similar performance statistics, except it's significantly cheaper, but that's in real life. So in terms of Forza, it doesn't really matter too much about the price, but I reckon if you tune this up, it'd easily be able to be up to par with the Lamborghini Urus, and it's also an Audi. Just like I was talking about Bentley before, there are very little Audis currently in the game, or at least there's been hardly any new Audis added. I'd be surprised if there'd been more than 3 Audis added through Horizon Festival playlist events since the game's been released in over 2 years. So that really indicates that they should add some more of these cars, and the RS Q8 would be definitely a good start. And on the topic of Audis, I also believe they should add the RS7. The RS7 is a new facelifted version of the previous RS7 model from another year, and the 2020 version looks extremely menacing. Now, it's likely this will start to roll out in other games, so Forza should definitely not be falling behind in terms of this, and hopefully they can attain the licensing for these 2 Audi cars. Maybe they could even be seen in the same series. That would be something I'd love to see. Next, guys, we have the BMW M8 competition. Similar to the Audis, there's not very many BMWs in the game right now, and the M8 competition will be a sick car to spice it up. Similarly to the Porsche 911 Turbo S, this is also a supercar killer. This could probably maybe be considered a supercar, or at least a very high-end sports car. Besides that, guys, its 0 to 100 speed is less than 2.7 seconds, which is crazy. That would beat a lot of Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and almost would beat some of the higher tier supercars and almost in the hypercar region. So guys, hopefully we can see the BMW M8, and the last car I will be talking about in this video will be the McLaren 765 LT. Now, all of us know how close McLaren are with Forza, their relationship with the McLaren Senna being the cover car of the game, the new 600Ss, LTs, the new 720S Spiders, the McLaren Speedtail being added. There's been a whole bunch of McLarens added to Forza, and hopefully we also see the 765 LT, which is pretty much a kitted up 720S, which would be crazy to see around a track, crazy to see its differences to 720S, and I can't imagine how this would act if you modded it up completely and got it a very solid tune. So hopefully we can see that in the coming future. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hope you all did enjoy. If you want to stay up to date with the best Forza glitches, tutorials, and giveaways, make sure you go and smash that subscribe button with notifications on, and like and comment any suggestions or feedback down below. And also comment what car you want to see, as I'm curious to see what you guys think of these 10 cars, or maybe even what cars you guys want to see instead of them. But guys, hope you all did enjoy. Thank you very much for watching.